I think the physics change has been, I guess, different, right? It's not worse or good. I've been thinking how to adjust, and it's been going okay. I feel like I kind of found a good. I
Yeah,
don't know, is it good?
it is
Kind of
different.
okay setting.
Yeah.
It's yeah. I put the bounciness kind of the same now on both sides. Um, and
Right.
throws are 1.03, basically the same both sides right now.
W-
Yeah.
What's the bounciness you're using now?
It's 0.71 and
7.1.
max,
Okay. And
yeah, max spin and
right.
1.03 throw on both sides. So I kind
103.
of yeah, I dialed it back down on both sides, and I wasn't
Right.
so sure what to use on both sides, so I just kind of use the
Right.
same now. Yeah.
Right.
So
And
still figuring
what do
out.
you think about your overall control when you're playing?
That's part I'm not sure. I feel like I'm my forehand has been always my weakness a lot, and I'm still really bad
Right.
with forehand.
Right.
Especially when balls come in variety of spins and speed. My backhand still feels more stable. My forehand's not. So it's kind of, I feel like I'm trying to have more control, but
Right.
still trying to figure out what's the best way to do it. So I can tell it feels kind of spotty when, especially when the ball, it feels a little bit hard to know how to um, have the right control, on getting enough friction or spin to
Right.
make the ball go in more times. Because I feel like I'm still kind of
Right.
struggling at the especially a little back and forth faster paces
Right.
when,
Right.
or things change, rhythm changes. Yeah. So I'm not sure
Right.
yet. I'm still figuring out. Yeah.
Okay. Have you tried to reduce the amount of spin in your pedal settings?
I did already. Um, oh, actually, no, never.
I'm telling you that because I used to play max spin all the time, both sides. Because my
Yeah,
game is based on heavy top spin, spin variations, this kind of thing.
yeah.
And um, I reduced my bounciness also
Oh, okay.
about to 10 to 14 points each side.
Oh, a
So
lot.
yeah, it's a lot. I was playing. Um, I was using before 82 on my forehand. Now I'm with 66, I guess. Let me
Oh,
check.
wow, that's a lot.
That's yeah,
That's a lot.
66. And on my backhand was 70. Now it's 60. This is bounciness. Spin I reduced. I'm still not sure because the new physics is pretty new, right? So
Yeah.
I'm still trying things, but nowadays I'm playing with 77 spin instead of max. I
Oh,
was
really?
reducing to 80, 79. I was trying a little bit of everything. And now I'm playing with 77. Still not sure if I'm going to play a little bit higher spin,
Yeah.
probably 78, 79 max, or maybe if I still reduce a little bit more.
Hmm.
And it's amazing because if I really spin the ball properly, the amount of spin is the same. I mean, it's still
Oh,
high
really?
spin.
Ah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I think it's easier to control. For some reason, the amount of spin, less spin helps me controlling the shots way more.
Ah.
And
Interesting.
I'm going all about control now. So that's why I'm asking you
Yeah.
to sometimes try to reduce the spin, keep the bounciness in a comfortable level, but reducing the spin just to
Hmm.
try. Just reduce one like 81, maybe 80, something like that. Feel
Yeah.
if you see if you feel like comfortable, and
Okay.
if you do. Keep trying sometimes less spin and see if you still have the same quality shots. Because in my case, it's helping me a lot. In my throw
Interesting.
coefficient, I used to play
Yeah.
106.
Yeah.
Now I'm playing 102. Nowadays I'm trying 101.
Oh,
So
wow,
I'm
that's a
still
lot more.
reducing a
Yeah.
lot. Yeah, because I feel that it's because it's faster. The ball
Yeah.
trajectory is faster.
Yeah.
I don't. For some reason, I feel like I need more control and then less throw coefficient also helps me kind of holding the ball with me a little bit more and spin the ball and control better. So this is something that I'm not saying to use exactly what I'm doing, because maybe it's too
Yeah.
slow for you. It depends on your timing, the angles you like using, but
Yeah.
it's worth trying at least sometimes less spin to see how it goes, and
Yeah.
maybe keep trying reducing things if you feel like you need more control, right? Because this
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
the
I
thing.
didn't realize I should go that low because
Yeah,
I feel like if I really reduce down 10 or 20, it seems because everybody's saying, oh, I only reduce 5 or 4. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And,
But
and the
it just
best way
feels so
to
different.
try the best way to try it with the ball machine. If it feels comfortable with the ball machine, then you
Yeah.
go for matches and everything, and then you see if it's really good. So
Okay.
let's do some
Yeah.
warm up together here
Okay.
with the
Yeah. I
ball
just turned the
machine.
spin a little bit down for now too, and throw a little bit down just to see how
Yeah,
it
just
feels.
try it. Just try it. Why not?
Okay. This actually feels better with less spin for some reason. Yeah. It feels like the balls doesn't go as aggressive out.
Yeah, because for some reason the spin in the paddle settings supposed to be only how much friction you can bring to the shot,
Yeah.
but it does help controlling and the way it reacts with the ball. Sometimes make it easier and not exactly less spin in your shot at the end. If you really brush correctly,
Oh yeah, actually
you can
similar.
still bring some of the 108, 106. You see, if you really spin 115, you see the last one. So try to bring more power to the shots now. Close the angle and go with more power, and you'll see.
And do it the right way.
Yeah, 106, 110, 113. Yeah, 119. Oh, look, yeah, good. 121, the last one. 117. Oh, just one before that was 125.
Oh wow.
Just for you
So
to
the
see,
spin,
like it's still good, right?
Yeah.
Try the backhand now. Let me just check the rate here real quick. Yeah, this is a good rate. Go.
It's falling down. But I think I probably need to reduce the spin to control the ball.
Yeah.
But this feels a little bit bouncing off for some reason.
Yeah, for me it's a little bit counterintuitive because for me in real life, if you have a more sticky rubber spinning more, you have more control in general.
Yeah.
Like Chinese rubber, for example, Hurricane.
Oh yeah, the boosted one.
This kind of thing. Yeah, I love the Hurricane rubbers, especially on the forehand side. It gives me more control and allows me to play with more power if I want to.
Yeah.
Still keeping the control. But here, for some reason, it's not really necessary. And if you think, even with the minimum spin, which is 70 today,
yeah,
you can still spin a lot if you brush correctly, right? So
interesting.
it's different, yeah.
Huh.
But then
this one,
that brings you to a different settings, because if you reduce the spin, the relation between bounciness and throw coefficient also is changed.
Yeah.
You know, like, and then you just have to hit and see how you feel, and then maybe you have to change your throw coefficient a bit, or maybe even your bounciness. But it's you just really need to feel. Let's start doing some.
I feel like ball doesn't go up. It does feel like ball goes down more.
Yeah, it goes down more. Yes. Yeah, I feel like if you reduce the spin, it's like almost reducing the throw coefficient. You know, slightly. You know, something like that. But even like that, I feel like less spin and even less throw coefficient for me is working better, at least in terms of control. Still trying to figure out the best settings, but it's a good start for sure.
Yeah, that's a good. It's good to run. It's a lot. It's a huge difference. The numbers. Yeah.
Let's do something like that. Just let's practice more your forehand. So it's gonna be like this: one backhand here in the corner, and then forehand middle, forehand corner, forehand middle again. Backhand. So middle, corner, middle, backhand. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I want you to take your time with the 3 forehand shots.
Okay.
Especially the middle one.
Yeah.
Wait for the ball as much as you can to have time to find the best angles and use your body to help you driving this ball forward.
Okay.
Very nice. Good. All right. Relax.
Okay.
Really nice. How does it feel?
It's different. I like it all. It's
good.
My stroke has changed a little bit too, but
right.
Yeah, it feels more. The ball doesn't go fly so fast anymore.
Good. Let me adjust here something for us to do with backspin balls first, and then after that we go for other shots. Okay, let's invest a little bit of time on the forehand, right? Because you said it's been a bit more difficult.
Yeah, especially like even just at the serves. When the serves just come to the forehand, I feel like I'm not. I feel like I'm probably relying too much on hitting too hard.
Right.
When the ball sometimes come flat, like no spin,
right?
Just a little underspin, or maybe just a little top spin, or maybe a lot more top spin. It's there's like this smaller adjusted forehands, to do that. I'm not sure how to do that well, because sometimes I feel like I have to spin more, but like spin like a lot little, right? Not trying to do this.
Because sometimes the backspin is not heavy enough.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's even combined with more side spin than backspin, or even there's no backspin at all. It feels like there's backspin, but it's completely dead. And then you still can spin the ball, and you can still use an open angle if you want, but you have to play short. If the ball is heavy like this one, now we're gonna practice with some heavy balls. So this one you have to push and then attack, because this long shot is heavy. You really have to lift with a lot of arm motion, right? Because it's heavy. But Then we're gonna reduce the spin and do other kind of shots, and then you see like you have to either adjusting the angle or playing shorter if you want to keep your the same angle.
Yeah, that's kind of like I see some people, especially when the ball is like half long or something. Some people put very low to do some kind of like looping, or some people just kind of just like do quick wrist actions.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure what's the. Anyway, every ball comes, I'm still questioning like what is the best way to do it.
Right.
Do I just like go a little bit more harder, or do I try to like do a little like I'm still feel like I don't have like a good mental like awareness to do it well, because if I have just a ball, if I practice in ball machine, I feel like I'm kind of gonna find a very comfortable thing to hit, but maybe I'm just hitting it too aggressively, so I don't find like a very safe way to do it.
It's possible. Yeah, it's very possible. Sometimes you're bringing too much power unnecessarily, actually, right? If you think that sometimes you don't need to play as hard. Let me bring this one to the corner here. Yes. Try this. Try this drill. Receiving short.
Okay.
And then your opponent's playing long to your forehand, you have to lift. This is a heavy ball. Okay, go. Lift.
Pretty heavy. Oops.
Good.
Oops.
I'm gonna add one more forehand.
Okay.
Which is this one. 105 maybe. Yeah. So after looping the first one, so you receive short, lift up the first backspin, then immediately after lifting, step back to have more time and play the second forehand forwards.
Okay.
Right? Okay. It's important because after the top spin, the first top spin, you're spending a lot of energy lifting a heavy ball. Right? If you stay close to the table, you probably won't have too much time to swing properly and keep the pressure on your opponent. Yeah. So lifting slightly backwards with your right leg, because your right leg is going to be close to the first ball, right? Because you have to lift. And then immediately your right leg stepping backwards, creating space so you can wait for the shot, change your angle, and play more forwards.
Okay. So here goes.
Receiving short, and then lifting, and then one step back to play your next shot. Lifting up, and then forwards. Good.
He's a little lag.
Yeah. Okay. Lifting up, step back, and play forwards.
And you first hit the ball for a second. Oh. Oops.
Yeah. The last forehand has to be more powerful than the previous one.
Okay. So I need to,
because the first one, when it's a backspin shot, you are still kind of I like calling it the opening attack. It's still a preparation. You're not gonna finish the point with this shot. Your opponent has enough time to hit the ball and blocking.
Yeah.
And so, of course, we have to use a lot of energy to lift a heavy ball, but just enough to make sure you can be in good balance, stepping backwards, waiting for the blocking, and then playing more power. Because if you use a lot of power on the first one and you don't have enough time to keep the pressure on, and then just play a more controlled shot after that, your opponent can counterattack, can put pressure on you. Right? So it's kind of a, if this first shot is like 70%, the other one is 80, 90% or something like that. You know, the biggest mistake people do is they invest a lot of power in the first one, and then the second one they just give it some easy shot for the opponent. You know, and then there's no pressure. Your opponent has enough time to recover and play a nice shot on you. So the second shot, the next shot after the opening attack should have some power. It doesn't have to be 100% of your power. Doesn't even have to be more powerful than the first one, but you have to keep the pressure on. Enough power to keep the pressure on your opponent doesn't allow, not allowing him to counterattack or to change directions so easily. So you keep the ideally with at least slightly more powerful than the first shot. Ideally, if not, at least spinning well, keeping the pace to keep your opponent guessing if he should keep defending or maybe taking some risk to counterattack. You know, cannot be anything easy. Then you release the pressure too much, your opponent is alive again. Okay, let's go.
Okay.
Yes, that's good. Lifting and then power again. Yes, good.
Okay.
Not necessarily is going to be a winner, not necessarily, but it has to keep the pressure. Your opponent has to feel that he's still in danger.
Okay. Oops. I can't even hit the ball.
Maybe because you're late for the shot, so step backwards even more if you need to.
Okay.
After the first one, right? Still the first top spin is close to the table because it's a backspin shot.
Yeah.
Then you step backwards to buy yourself more time and space.
Oops.
Good.
Oops.
Bend your right knee to lift the long backspin. Good. That's perfect. Good placement on the first top spin. Good arc, good pace, and then more power, more pressure on the second one. This is perfect.
Oops. Got it. Oops.
Nice. Beautiful, beautiful shot. One more. Good. Nice. Beautiful, beautiful. All right.
Yeah, I feel like I'm still trying to practice the finding the position to hit these balls. I keep missing them.
Right. That's okay. That's okay. Let's go with some side spin serve now.
Okay.
Let me find one good one. This left side spin. But I'm gonna place this one more towards your forehand.
Okay.
And let me see if I can make it kind of a more half long.
Yeah. Actually, a lot of people like to do the other way, you know, and kind of ball lands here somewhere. So it doesn't go
In the
out.
middle.
It kind of almost, yeah. So I kind of have to figure out how to use a backhand somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been not
Let's
easy.
keep it, because this serve is like a forehand pendulum serve, right, from a right-hand player. Let me bring down back to the middle, though. Slightly more to the middle, like this. Because this ball is curving towards you, right? There's no backspin on this shot.
Oh, okay.
Okay, it's more side spin. So if you go under the ball like this, the ball goes up and goes always to that corner because there's a lot of side spin, right?
Yeah.
And here you have a few. Of course, you can, because the ball is coming towards your belly here, towards your backhand. You can just step in and play backhand, but I would suggest you to try it with your forehand, because this serve, the spin is going this way. So if you want to be super aggressive, you need to find some kind of an inside out angle to be really aggressive, because it's in favor of the spin, right? So the spin is going this way.
Oh, I need to
the ball this. The tendency of the ball is going that way.
Yeah.
And then you have to keep the spin on hitting the left side of the ball to go towards where the ball's supposed to go with the spin. So this we call it like in favor of the spin. So you're kind of following the spin and keeping the same rotation.
Yeah.
But an inside out shot is very hard. The good news is, if you go against the spin, if you hit the other side of the ball, you know, not a inside out like this, right?
Yeah.
If you go like your natural angle for the forehand, which is kind of the other side of the ball, you don't need to play as hard as your opponent. It doesn't need to be super hard. It's easier to control. And it's kind of a natural angle, so you don't need to force much. But because there's no backspin, if you play with a lot of arm, the ball goes outside. Right?
Yeah.
So it's more of a wrist thing, finding the wrist here, following the trajectory and playing your forehand, spinning the ball. But look how short it is. I have to really touch the ball with a good spin, brushing well, but I kind of lock my arm after hitting, because what makes the ball travel is the amount of elbow you put on the shot.
Oh,
so if there's no elbow, the elbow remains very close to my body. I mean, the elbow is stuck to my body. I find the angle, good acceleration with the wrist, but the elbow remains very close to the body.
Oh, just close to you. Oh, I see.
Right? Try this a little bit. See how it goes. It's slightly up. Brushing as good as you can. Yes, good. But not stretching too much the shot. Like, it's kind of a short. If you want to be more aggressive, it's just more acceleration on your wrist, but not necessarily a lot of arm on the shot, right? It's just controlling. Yeah. Good. If you look more for the right side of the ball, yes, you can play to the other side if you want. If you hit more the center of the ball, because the spin is bringing the ball towards your opponent's backhand, the ball is going there. Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it's up to you. You don't need to go inside out. Just going in the middle of the ball. The side spin leads the ball to the backhand corner of your opponent anyway.
Got it.
Right? Yes. And now the quality of this shot is, see how spinny you can go, also fast, also speed, right? Because if you practice well, you can accelerate your wrist even more and bring in not only spin but a little bit more speed. You see, it's only like a lot of a wrist. You really need to touch the ball well. You can go slower this way if you like. Then there's no spin. It's just kind of a placing the ball to the corner. But if you really go for the spinny shot. You can spin well and bring a little bit more pace to the shot. It's just a matter of practicing of how good you can accelerate your wrist to bring more.
And so, do you try to just straight out turning your wrist mostly, right?
Yeah, but it is all about the angle. Because if there's a little bit more backspin, I would either open the angle more, or maybe keeping the angle. But because there's more backspin, I would have to swing my arm a little bit more. It depends. This shot, you have to find the angle. So this shot is kind of an only side spin. So if you hit straight like this, the ball would go kind of over the net, right? Because it's a side spin. There's no backspin. But I don't want to do this because this is too easy for my opponent. There's no spin. The pace might be good. Like something like that would be good, right? But I want to spin the ball to just keep my opponent in a situation where he needs to block and not counter-attack. Right, so the touch and the wrist acceleration is crucial.
Interesting.
Try that.
Okay.
Good.
Oh, that's too much. I guess it's hard to do because you were doing 120. I guess I wasn't sure how to do that because I've tried to wrist. I guess it's almost kind of like how you spin it, right?
Yeah, it's how you touch the ball with more friction, kind of a brushing thinner on the ball, but with good acceleration. Yeah.
Interesting.
See, if you go close to 100 on this shot, like you're doing, it's pretty good. That means you're brushing and you're delivering. You're generating your own spin.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, but thinner actually is harder to hit, I guess. Harder to find the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every time you try to hit with more quality, it's harder for your opponent, but also harder for you technically, right? Because you need better touch. Yeah, there's no easy shot that is super easy for you and super hard for your opponent, right? That would be unfair, probably.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I just wonder how to get more spin.
Using your wrist and trying to brush thinner, like generating more friction. And remember, I'm playing 77 spin, just for you to understand that it's not the amount of spin is not necessarily because you play max spin in your pedal settings, right? It's just to touch.
Yeah. I'm more spin than you, but it's harder to like cap the ball in my pedal.
Yeah, but it depends on how you touch the ball more than the pedal settings, actually. That's why I said, like, maybe sometimes reducing the spin gives you more...
Let me try.
Gives you more control, so you can swing harder your arm or your wrist, and it sometimes even generating more spin.
Interesting. Yeah, 70. I'm trying 79 instead of 80.
Yeah, go
to see if it actually helps a little.
You see, it doesn't change much. Look, you're still giving like around 100, close to 100 spin. So.
Yeah.
Good. But maybe feeling that you have more control. Yeah, 104 this one. Good.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Feeling that you have more control, maybe you have more confidence to swing harder.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
yes.
108. This is your best one so far, probably.
Yeah, because I feel like the ball doesn't fly out of the table.
Exactly. It reacts less with your paddle, so you have more control.
So I should definitely reduce the spin even more then to make it more easier, so I can swing more.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. I know some top players playing with kind of a 75 spin already or something like that.
Oh, wow.
Some players, they just like playing max spin. That's okay. Yeah. But and before, with the old physics, I would rather play max spin because we had more time to kind of keep the ball in contact with the paddle and generate more power. Yeah. But nowadays, I'm still not sure. I might regret that and change in the future. But for now, less spin on the pedal settings is helping.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, good. Nice. Yeah, I like the trajectory. This is a perfect trajectory. It's not very close to the net, so you have some margin for error. And it's deep enough. The pace is good. Yeah.
Yeah, but the last spin is actually makes me feel like I can swing it harder.
Right. I'm gonna change the spin
Okay.
This is going to be the opposite spin now, kind of this backhand serve, right? So to the other side, let me just keep it more there, a little bit.
Yeah, I'm going to pick even one more less spin, just see how it works.
Wait a minute. Spread, just a little bit of spread. And let's try to make it kind of a half long like this. Yeah, this is good. The same spin, but now the tendency of the ball is going to the other side, right? Because it's a backhand serve. I'm doing it kind of the ball is going to land towards the center, towards your forehand, like skirting towards your forehand. And this is on purpose, because then if you want to prefer going with the backhand, the not natural angle, because remember, the other spin was this way. Yeah. And then you have to hit kind of an inside out to bring a lot of power. Yeah. But then the natural angle with the forehand is the opposite of the spin, so you can kind of find better control. Now, that's true for the backhand, because you would have to go this way, like this backhand this way to bring a lot of power, like keeping the spin on. Yeah. But the natural angle for the backhand is the opposite. So it's kind of the same, lifting the ball up, you know, and then you have to look for a good angle, playing short, still spinning the ball, you see, and then you go for it with more power if you want to, like this. But I'm not going right side of the ball. I'm hitting the center of the ball. Or if I don't want to make any effort, I go left like this. There's no spin, but there's no effort. Just placing the ball. See how the curve goes, like changing to the other side. This is a kind of a more passive way to receive, but it's also safe because you don't need to spend a lot of energy, right? But it's not aggressive enough. So if you have a good opponent there, they can like put some pressure on you immediately, right? So going in the middle of the ball and trying to spin more, that would be good with the backhand. You just have to find the angle and spin like this. But with the forehand, also possible. But then, because the natural angle for the forehand is hitting the right side of the ball, slightly at least. If you control the right side of the ball goes over there.
Yeah, I had to hit to the right.
You see? Yeah. So you really have to open your wrist now outside. Yeah. And really find an angle. Trying to play the ball like this direction. Yeah. Because the spin is leading to the other side, you know? And then you can also find your angle to lift. Even if the ball lands on your opponent's forehand, it's okay because of the spin. But I'm trying to play as much to the backhand side as I can. It's still like very short, but a more open angle to avoid the right side of the ball. Because if I go right side, I can go as fast as I can and then make a really good, powerful shot. Yeah. But it's not the goal here. The goal is being safe, attacking your opponent's serve. Yeah. Preparation for the next shot. So we have to keep under control. If I go like super crazy fast on the right side of the ball to play as hard as I can, and then maybe I can make one shot or 2 out of 10 is not a good deal for me. True. Right.
Okay, so I guess you try to do your backhand as much as possible until it goes to some much farther, because this seems easier, but you kind of have to move with it, right? Depending on the ball
this kind of a spin for this kind of a serve with the backhand, it's easier with the backhand to control. Yes, but I also want you to have the feeling, because if your opponent serves the same serve down to the corner, you have to use your forehand anyway.
Yeah. You can run all the way there.
Yeah. Let's actually start with this. Playing more towards your forehand, like this. So now you're kind of forced to play forehand, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh. Open your wrist outside and try to spin down the line as much as you can.
Oh, okay. Oh. Yeah, it's actually hard to. You keep going there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's okay if it goes there, but you have to generate your own spin, and you have to feel that you are controlling the trajectory, the ball trajectory. at least the arc you have to control with a good spin. That's it.
I see.
Just don't force the shot towards the diagonal. Just go more down the line, and then if the ball lands in the middle or diagonally, that's fine, but you're controlling. Yeah. If it goes outside, if it goes outside, maybe you're using too much arm, or you have to adjust the angle and close a bit more. But in general, it's using too much arm, because you can play this shot with a very open angle if you want. If you brush correctly, it's still gonna be fine. Good.
I try to go there. But I guess, doing more wrist seems more safer, I guess.
It is, yes. Because there's no backspin, so it's not necessary to use a lot of arm. It's all about the wrist.
Yeah, I don't do that much, just pure wrist shots. But it's really hard to control if you use arm at all.
Yeah. And try to brush more. Good.
Oops. Ooh. Yeah, it goes out. It's harder to control it, at least. So you're trying to keep this open like this, right?
Yes. Not only an open angle with the paddle, but also opening the wrist outside. So you make sure you don't touch too much the right side of the ball. Let's say the ball is here. If you touch too much the right side, because the right side of the ball, your opponent's brushing a lot, bringing a lot of spin. If you touch the right side of the ball, you have to really brush much harder. I mean, as hard as your opponent is doing, which is not easy most of the time, right? And but then if you open and go more for the center of the ball, then it's easier to control, and you don't need to put a lot of effort, and you still can brush properly and bring some control and some good pace.
Okay. So you just need to hit more towards the back of the ball.
Yeah, almost like if it was an inside out like this. Like I'm trying to go like inside out, but inside out is very awkward in this angle. Just go up, stay close to the shot, up. Look how I'm accelerating my wrist, but then lock it when I hit the ball, just to make enough pressure to spin. You see, if you look at the screen there, I'm hitting as pure top spin as I can. If you see the arrow there, right?
So when it goes down to your back to the body, I notice you're also opening already, right? And
exactly. Because if we take in front of the body, then it's a natural angle right side, and we don't want that, because then the ball goes there. If I take in front of the body, goes there. So I have to make sure. That's why half long shots sometimes are very tricky. Because if your right leg is not really under the ball, if your body is not close enough to the ball, you're gonna hit this ball in front of the body with your butt like sticking backwards. You know what I'm saying? And then you have just like the in front of the body, and it's much harder. If I ask you to stretch your arm towards me, like this, then bring to your right side a little bit, kind of diagonally to the right side, and play with your wrist. It's much harder to play with the open wrist. It's gonna hurt. But if it's close to your body sideways, you can open the wrist easier. It's just anatomic, it's just anatomically speaking, like it's easier to do this. So if I'm here prepared to spin the ball, but the ball is close to the side of my body, or almost like backwards, not backwards, but almost like behind me, I can open my wrist with more comfort, let's say. But if I'm hitting in front, if I'm too far from the ball, my legs, my hips are too far from the ball, and I'm hitting it this way in front, it's very hard to open the angle. Super hard.
I see.
It's not going to give me any precision, because my arm is going to be far from my body.
So I'm almost trying to hit right next to me.
Almost. Yeah.
Not here.
That's like no, because and that's the same for backspin shots. If the backspin shot of your opponent is very deep, you don't need to be too close to the table because the ball is coming towards you, and you kind of can lift the ball. Another thing, like let's think about backspin shot. The backspin shot, I used to say, like, it's like a heavy chair. So I place a heavy chair here in front of you and ask you to lift this chair with your right hand. You're not gonna be, if the chair is here, my paddle is the chair. Your body has to be close to the chair. You grab the chair with the right hand and lift it, right? Lift up. But if your body is behind the chair, for some reason away from the chair, you grab it to lift, it's much heavier, it's much harder.
You don't have body to help you.
And this half long shot is like a chair falling down in front of you. If you're away from the shot, if you're away from the ball, it's going to be harder to lift. So you have to keep your body very close to the table, your right leg very close to this heavy chair, and then you can lift. If your right
so
leg
when you
is
see the
away,
ball coming, you kind of have to put your body close to it first, right?
You kind of have to step forward with your right leg. With both legs, actually, but the most important one is your right leg to be close to the shot, and then you hit. Like for this shot, for example, my right knee is kind of under the table, kind of in the limit here, under the table. My right knee, because if my right knee is not this way, close to the table, it's slightly more like backwards, then it's gonna be like this, and then it's gonna be very hard. I'm gonna hit the right side of the ball. You know, and then the ball, and I have no power. I have to bring my right knee very close under the table, and then I have power to play sideways. And that's a good shot. That's comfortable for the wrist. Even if I want to play to the other side, look, like this. You know, I have angle to open my wrist this way. And still, if I want to close the wrist and play a powerful shot cross court, it's still possible, because closing the wrist here is easy, right? It's natural. We just have to create enough space to open the wrist.
That's what I feel like. I'm probably just hitting it way too much here all the time. Yeah. Because like topspin, you can do this pretty comfortably almost. But But if you think if you want to play, for example, in a flat ball, like a flat normal shot, if you want to play down the line, you need to wait for the ball to come closer to the side of your body. Then you have the angle to open your wrist and play down the line. If you play too much in front of you, it's going to be always kind of towards the diagonal. And when you hit down the line, how do you, when you say open the wrist, do you open the wrist differently? Playing down, because I'm like, when I try and punt down the line, I don't feel like I'm opening my wrist as much. I'm almost trying to like hit it earlier and kind of guide it almost, you know. But
not necessarily hitting earlier. Let me.
Or a little later. So waiting the ball come a little later to. But I'm not sure how to open that wrist to make it go there.
Look, this ball is coming from that corner, and you want to still playing down the line. If I take this ball in front of the body like this, I have less angle to play down the line. It's possible, but it's less angle, because the natural angle is going to bring the ball diagonally. It's going to send the ball over there. So I wait and take the ball closer to my body, kind of almost behind my body. Then I have an angle to open the wrist. You can go inside out if you want, like this, if you have to, or whatever. You can play forward, you can play upwards. It doesn't really matter what you wanna do, how you wanna touch the ball. But if you're playing down the line, especially if the ball is also coming in a straight line like this, you kind of have to rotate your body and take it later than diagonal shot would be.
I see. It just hitting it later. And
exactly. And this is the same for the serves we are working on. Where is the serve again? This one?
Close to
this one. Go there. Okay. Hit the ball. Right leg close to the ball, body close to the ball. Every time you want to control your shot, you need to be close to the ball. Open your wrist to play down the line as much as you can, because then you can brush and control.
Yeah, I'm not used to the
trajectory.
Yeah.
You have to be close, yes. This is the biggest mistake people do with the half-long balls. I should make a video about it, actually.
Too far, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But you have to, I guess, you have to practice knowing where the body should go. Because if the ball feels like I'm just put the wrong place, it goes away. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. True.
So I kind of feel like I have to almost be in the middle of it because it will fall somewhere else.
Yeah.
Probably too much elbow.
Good. Nice. Good pace. Yes, nice. And now with the new physics, it's harder to serve short.
Yeah.
The ball is jumping too much. So lots of short serves is going to land kind of a half long. So if you really practice opening a half long serve, you have some advantage taking the initiative straight away.
Oops. But yeah, which means you have to practice the returning.
Yeah.
It's much harder. Yeah.
It is. Yeah, this is a good one. Yeah. And look how easy it can be if we change this to your backhand. Or even towards the center of the table, but then you choose your backhand. Now you can go all the way left if you don't want to make any effort.
Yeah. Oops. Yeah, it's easier to just kind of lift it up.
Yeah. The angle is more like backhand friendly, right?
Yeah.
Just like the other serve was more like forehand friendly.
Yeah. The hardest is the forehand for me.
Yeah.
The forehand always feels like a struggle.
But if we go with the other serve, the left one now, I'm gonna bring this more towards your backhand.
Okay.
This way, right? So now it's still backhand friendly if you think that's easy to hit the left side of the ball. But now the spin is on the left side of the ball.
Yeah.
So if you really want to play left, you have to play harder, much harder than the other one. You know, because if you play too soft, the ball lands outside like this. If you play too soft, right? So you really have to bring your wrist. Otherwise, you have to open the angle. It's not very friendly, and go for the down the line shot like this. Just not spinning too much, which is hard. Would be much easier with the forehand this way, right?
Yeah.
Because then you have the whole table easier. So try this with the backhand.
Okay. Oops. It goes out.
Yeah. Exactly, because then you're touching the ball where the ball is full of spin. Your opponent is spinning on the left side, and you're hitting your left side. This is what we call like in favor of the spin or with the spin, right? And if you're going with the spin, you have to be as aggressive as your opponent. Sometimes it's not really easy because sometimes your opponent is serving with a lot of spin, so it's not very easy to do.
I see. So it's kind of safer to just lift it almost, but it's harder.
Yeah. If you just lift it, trying to find the center of the ball, not the corner, not the side of the ball, then it's easier. But it's easier for your opponent as well because it's more
to attack.
Right?
So what's the best way to return with the backhand? Is it trying to
opening the angle? Remember on the forehand side with the other spin, the right side spin, you had to open the angle outside. It's a bit uncomfortable. Here you have to open the angle, open your wrist outside as well.
This way.
It's kind of an inwards, and then you find the angle and just brush up like this. So it's not a lot of effort, but you still need to brush well if you want some pace and acceleration. Still very short, right? Because there's no backspin, so there's no need for like using the full swing, right? But then instead of going the natural angle, you have to bend your wrist and then use some try to hit the mid of the ball.
Ah, I see.
Bend the wrist more, wait for the ball, wait for the trajectory, bend the wrist and spin upwards, but short.
Ah,
Yeah, then you have good control. You're not spending a lot of energy,
okay.
and it's still a decent shot, right? Like,
Yeah.
most of your opponents are not counterattacking that one. If you place it well, it's not that easy to counterattack. Because this is what we want, right? We want, if your opponent is serving long, ideally we want to take the initiative and just keep some pressure immediately on the opponent's side, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Not giving our opponent something easy, because if your opponent is serving long and you are not putting pressure, he's gonna have a lot of time to figure out things and put a lot of pressure on you on the third ball.
Yeah, I see. So I need to brush the ball.
Yeah, it's something that you're brushing. We are being aggressive, but just enough to be consistent and controlling the trajectory, not forcing too much, because we don't want to give our opponent a free point.
I see. Yeah, because it's still it's a little tricky to find the right enough of amount.
It is. There's no easy shot
go out
in
really
table
easy.
tennis.
Yeah, give me the cheat code, please.
Yeah, and if you target more the center of the table or down the line, then you have even more control. Even if the ball still goes cross court, you have more control because you're going against the ball's trajectory, right? The ball's trajectory wants to go cross court all the way. If you go more down the line in this case, you have more control. Because then you naturally open your wrist a little bit more, bending your wrist more to find the down the line angle, and then you have more control. Good.
Yeah, I'm trying to find how to do more brushing, but it doesn't fly out there.
That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah,
that's okay. If it's good enough to keep a good pace, of course, with time practicing, you can brush better and bring more spin, but it's all about controlling first and then finding your way to increase the quality of the shot, right?
Yeah, got it. Yeah, I guess actually reducing the spin on this will even helps more.
Try
I realize. Yeah.
Go.
Ah, yeah. It flies less.
Exactly. And then you have more confidence to accelerate your wrist.
Yeah. Just one less spin is easier for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really need to adjust my spins then. I'm just too hot on these things too.
Yeah, makes sense.
Oops.
Really good. Yeah. So yeah, as you can see, it's totally different when you have left side spin or right side spin.
Yeah.
In general, right, left side spin, which is the forehand serve, right?
Yeah.
More is the angle is more like friendly angle with your forehand.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So if your opponent is serving forehand, and that's interesting. Let me jump to the other side and show you this, because this is interesting. Of course, it's not mandatory, but if you think this forehand serve, right, is going towards your left side, right? So intuitively, people will say, okay, it's going towards my backhand side, so I rather use my backhand. But it's not the angle is not anatomically, let's say, friendly with your left. So if you think that from here, even if I want to serve to the other side, the ball is still going towards you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? So if you stay to the corner, waiting to attack with the forehand, waiting to pivot, even close to pivot here and try to play forehand, not necessarily is a bad idea, because even if your opponent tries to serve to the other side, the ball is going to turn towards you. So you're
Oh,
never going to be very far from the ball, even if it's down the line. The ball is coming towards you. You wait for the trajectory, and you're still close to the ball, not very far.
that's true.
And it's a more friendly angle for the forehand. And if your opponent is serving backhand spin, so the ball is going away from you,
Mm-hmm.
and then you say, okay, if it's going away from me, I rather use my forehand. Yes, but but the angle with the backhand is easier.
Yes.
Okay, there's limits, right? Because if I serve too much over there, you might use your forehand anyway, because you know you would be too much to go backhand. But if I serve more towards the center of the table, why not stepping with the backhand, because it's easier to play and use it, right?
That's right.
It's all up to you. It doesn't really. This is not a rule, but you have to understand that this serve is easier to hit with the backhand because of the natural angle, and this serve is easier to hit with the forehand.
Got it. And I feel like for short balls, I usually even just use my forehand to try to like keep it under control towards.
For this one, it's going to be always easy with the forehand, even to control and play short or something like that. But if it's this one, backhand is going to be easier. If you use your forehand over there, if you use your forehand over there, maybe you overhit the ball. Yeah, you have to really open. You did perfectly. You have to open your wrist a lot to create this angle that would be with the backhand.
Yeah.
Right? It's kind of
I feel like that's kind of like, that seems like everybody likes to do either this or this for that reason.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And we really have to try to understand what is the best way for us, because you can learn all the shots, but you're not going to use all of them. You're going to have some preferences, right? Let's say you like attacking the ball. I don't know, just for some reason you're specialized in inside out forehands like this, which is very hard actually. But let's say this is your case. So according to this technique is easier for you than, let's say, a normal side spin, right side of the ball like this. Then you might have to adapt this according to the situation, you know. If you learn more shots, you have more more techniques to use, more options, then it's okay. You can choose what suits you best, but you're still gonna have your preferences according to who you're
what
playing,
feels more safe to hit, because when the ball game has I mean, doing this is hard for me. It can feel like it flies out very easily.
What about playing a match to finish?
Okay,
is it good? Do we have time? Is it okay for you?
Yes.
Okay, let's do it. Let me just share my. Let's go.
Yes, 2% battery, so it will die very soon.
Okay, if you disappear, I know it's your battery. No worries.
Yeah.
Let's go. Good. You see, this shot, for example, I was away from the table.
Yeah.
You were putting pressure on me.
Yeah.
But then you were so close to the table that I gave you something easy on the forehand, but you didn't have enough time to prepare and swing and keep the pressure on.
So I need to obviously.
When we are exchanging our balls already, like it's not this phase one, let's say short, backspin, first attack, first block. When it's over that and we are exchanging flat shots or top spin shots, don't stay too close to the table. You can still stay close if you feel like, but not super close. Otherwise you kind of if I give you something easy, you don't have time, you kind of a block.
I just had to like touch it back almost.
Exactly. You see, now because you're away from the table, now you have time to swing and add more pressure.
I see. Got it. Nice.
Good. Is your battery dying? Yes, it's dead. Good. And then we finish the class.